Hey folks, hope you're having a good Thursday. I wanted to share a little bit more with you about some of my favorite scriptures, but I want to kind of give you some background on this one scripture. In Deuteronomy chapter 31, Moses has been giving his final message to the people of Israel as they're about to cross the Jordan River and go and take the promised land. And in chapter 31, in verse 6, he says to the people, and especially to Joshua, be strong and courageous. Do not fear or be in dread of them. Do not be in dread of the people who already inhabit that land. And he says, for it is the Lord your God who goes with you. He will not leave you or forsake you. And then in verse 7, Moses summoned Joshua and said to him in sight of all Israel, be strong and courageous, and you're going to take over the land. And in verse 8, he said, it's the Lord who goes before you. He will be with you. He will not leave you or forsake you. Do not fear or be dismayed. I can't imagine what it would have been like to be Joshua. He is going to lead this people into the promised land. Moses was going to die. He was not going to be going into the new land. And I can't imagine just the feeling and the anxiety. These are people who were stubborn, who didn't always listen to what was going on and what the leaders were saying. And so now Joshua is going to be the leader, and Moses is telling him and telling the people that God is going to give you this land. Don't worry about it. And so in Joshua in chapter 1, we hear in verse 6, God is telling Joshua, be strong and courageous. In verse 8, he's told that the book of law shall not depart from your mouth, but if you meditate on it day and night, if you're careful to do all that's recorded in it, you will have success. And then in verse 9 comes one of my absolute favorite scriptures that God says to Joshua, have I not commanded you? Be strong and courageous. Be not afraid nor dismayed, for the Lord your God will go with you wherever you go. What great words that is. God reminding Joshua, have I not commanded you? I've commanded you. Remember this. Be strong and courageous, not macho, not worrying about all your muscles, but be strong and courageous in faith and in heart and in spirit. Be strong and courageous. Why? Why? And God says, for the Lord your God will go with you wherever you go. So be strong and courageous, because wherever you go, I'm going to be with you. I'm there already. You're good. And then he says the flip side, don't be afraid or don't be dismayed. Don't be depressed. Don't be anxious. Why? For the very same reason, for the Lord your God will be with you wherever you may go. So whatever you do, whatever you're doing, trust in the promise of God that he says, wherever you go, I'm going to be with you. Be strong, be courageous, hold on to your faith, because wherever you go, I will be with you. And he gives you the promise, his reason, I'm not going to forsake you. I'm not going to dump you. Hold on to my word, because that's what's going to hold you and remind you of who I am and the promises that I've made to you. So friends, another word from the Bible today, from Joshua chapter 1 and verse 9. And by the way, that is the reason we named our firstborn Joshua. Have a great day. God bless you. See you soon. Goodbye.